Welcome back. Today we're going to be reading Chapter 5, The Sunday School Picnic. Anne was late. She and Diana had been playing. Then she stopped in the yard to talk to Matthew. She talked and talked and talked. Inside the house, Marilla was getting upset. "Anne Shirley, you come right in here this minute. Do you hear me?" the woman called. Anne came running in with her eyes shining and her unbraided hair streaming. "Oh, Marilla," she said breathlessly, "there's going to be a Sunday school picnic next Wednesday in the field next to the Lake of Shining Waters, and there will be ice cream. I've never had ice cream before, and oh, Marilla, can I go? Oh, please." "Just look at the clock, if you please, Anne. What time did I tell you to come in?" 2 o'clock. "But isn't it splendid about the picnic, Marilla? Please, can I go? Oh, I've never been to a picnic. I've dreamed of picnics, but I've never—" "I told you to come at 2 o'clock, and it's 2:45. I'd like to know why you didn't obey me, Anne." "Why, I meant to, Marilla, but Diana and I were having so much fun playing, and then, of course, I had to tell Matthew about the picnic. Matthew is such a good listener. Please, can I go?" "Well, yes, of course you can go. You're in the Sunday school class, and all the little girls are going." "But," said Anne, "Diana says that everybody must take a basket of things to eat. I don't know how to bake anything. Now, I don't mind going to a picnic without puffed sleeves, but I'd feel awful if I had to go without a basket." "Well, I'll bake you a basket." "Oh, dear Marilla, you're so kind to me." Anne was so happy that she threw her arms around Marilla and gave her a big kiss. Marilla wasn't much used to little girls' kisses. There. Never mind your kissing nonsense," Marilla said. "I prefer that you do as you're told. As for cooking, I'll give you lessons one of these days. You know you have to be careful when you're cooking. You can't daydream. You've got to keep your wits about you or you'll burn the food. Or worse, you'll burn the house down." "I'm sorry I was late, Diana. I do have such good times," Marilla, Anne said. She told Marilla all about their playhouse in the woods. It was in the middle of a ring of white birch trees. It had big stones covered with moss for the seats and boards from tree to tree for shelves. The girls used broken pieces of old dishes for their china, and they kept a piece of fairy glass in a place of honor. The fairy glass was just an old prism from a lamp, but it was full of rainbows and magic to them. For the rest of the week, Anne talked picnic and thought picnic and dreamed picnic. She talked about Diana's new dress for the picnic and about what she would take in her basket. Mostly, she talked about eating ice cream for the first time. On Sunday, Anne and Marilla went to church. The minister announced the picnic from the pulpit, and Anne grew more excited than ever. Marilla wore her best brooch to church that day as usual. Pinned to her dress, it had been her mother's, and it was Marilla's most treasured possession. It was an old-fashioned oval with a border of very fine purple amethysts. Anne loved the brooch. "Oh, Marilla, it's so beautiful. Amethysts are better than diamonds. I think they must be the souls of violets." On Monday night, Marilla asked Anne, "Have you seen my amethyst brooch? I thought I stuck it in my pincushion when I came home from church yesterday, but I can't find it anywhere." "I saw it this afternoon," said Anne slowly. "I saw it on the pincushion, so I went in to look at it. I pinned it on just to see how it would look, but I know I'd put it back." "I'll go have another look," said Marilla. She went to her room and searched everywhere. She could not find the brooch and returned to the kitchen. "Anne, the brooch is gone. Did you take it out and lose it?" "No, I didn't," said Anne. "I never took the brooch out of your room." "I don't believe you, Anne," Marilla said sharply. "Go to your room and stay there until you're ready to confess." Marilla told Matthew the story the next morning, and Matthew was puzzled, but he had faith in Anne. "You sure it didn't fall down behind the dresser?" he asked. "I've looked in every crack and cranny," was Marilla's positive answer. "The brooch is gone, and she lied about it." Anne stayed in her room all day. Marilla brought up her meals on a tray. "You'll stay in this room until you confess, Anne," she said firmly that night at bedtime. "But the picnic is tomorrow, Marilla." "You won't keep me from going to that, will you?" Anne cried. "You're not going to the picnic or anywhere else until you've confessed, Anne," Marilla said, and she shut the door as she left. On Wednesday morning, Marilla took Anne's breakfast up to her. "Marilla, I'm ready to confess," Anne said. "Well, let me hear what you have to say then, Anne." "I took the brooch," said Anne. "I took it just like you said. I didn't mean to, but it was so beautiful, Marilla. I took it to our playhouse to pretend I was a grand lady. When I was going over the bridge across the lake of shining waters, it just slipped through my fingers and went down, 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 all purpley sparkling, and sank forevermore beneath the water. And that's the best I can do at confessing, and I'll know I have to be punished. Please do it quickly, because I'd like to go to the picnic with nothing on my mind. Picnic? You'll go to no picnic today, Anne Shirley, and that shall be your punishment. Not go to the picnic, Anne cried. You promised. Oh, Marilla, that's why I confessed. Please, please let me go to the picnic. Think of the ice cream. Don't beg, Anne. You are not going to the picnic, and that's final. Anne flung herself on the bed, crying in despair. But Marilla would not be moved by the tears and went back down to the kitchen very upset. She hated to think that Anne would lie to her. Now, after she washed the noon dishes, Marilla remembered that she had to mend her good black shawl. She had noticed a small tear in it on Monday. The shawl was in her trunk. Marilla lifted it out and saw something sparkling in the sunlight. Marilla grasped. It was the amethyst brooch caught on a thread of the shawl. Goodness, said Marilla, here's my brooch. Why did Anne say she lost it? I remember now that when I took off my shawl Monday, I laid it on the dresser for a minute. I suppose the brooch got caught in it somehow. Marilla went straight to Anne's room. Anne Shirley, said Marilla, I just found my brooch hanging on my black shawl, and I want to know why you confessed. You said you'd keep me here until I confessed, said Anne. So I decided to confess so I could go to the picnic. Marilla had to laugh in spite of herself, but she felt guilty too. Anne, it wasn't right for you to confess to something that you didn't do. But I drove you to it, so I'll forgive you if you forgive me. And now get ready for the picnic, and I'll fill the basket for you. Anne came home from the picnic tired and happy. Oh, Marilla, I've had a perfectly wonderful time. We went for boat rides on the Lake of Shining Waters, and we had the ice cream. It was divine. That evening, Marilla told Matthew, there's one thing certain. Things will never be dull around here with Anne.